Okay, so we're on to the final part of our task where we're going to generate a piecewise function for the whole thing. So you can see here I've already entered my piecewise functions that are going to be used. Now this first one is for the first path that went from my hand to the hoop. So you can see here that was where my hand was, that's where the hoop is. Now to get the domain, this start point and the end point, I'm looking at the highest and the lowest number in the range. So for this one, it's that one to that one. Now I've increased it to be to the next one as well to try and get them to touch. So that's the first path. Now to get the second path, this is from the hoop back to the ground. That is this section here. Now I chose to go with the cubic, so I have input. This number is A in there, this number is B in there, this number is C in here, and this number is D in there. And that's how I've got this second section. Now, it's important in your assumptions and observations to note that these two sections do not touch. It was a part of our assumptions that the path of the ball was continuous, so therefore our function should be continuous. But because we've generated three separate functions to create this piecewise function, they don't touch. And that's something that needs to be mentioned later on. Now, we're going to have the same finding for the last piecewise function that we got from generating the next cubic one and inputting this value as A, this value as B, this value as C, and this value as D. So when I turn that on and zoom out a little bit, we can see that this one goes here to the hoop, from the hoop to the ground, and bounces from the ground back up, back to the ground again. Now, the reason why these two spaces are different are because this is in 3 dimensions, and we've only tried to graph in 2 dimensions. That's something that should be important to note in your observations and assumptions, because we didn't just work with 2 planes, even though our graph was in 2 planes. So that's how I've generated the functions to go in this space, and the domains and the ranges to go in this space here. Okay, and just remember, zoom in on those sections, get a sneaky snap of that, and then talk about how they don't touch.